Hey peoples, it's Ruben from Hardjack Horticulture here. Just going to do a video of me polishing my boots, sort of a how-to. So there's different products people use to polish their boots, different ways of doing it. I use wax, well I polish it off with leather soap first, and then I apply wax, and this time I'll buff it off because they're pretty supple, they're just a bit dirty, but if they're a bit dry, I'd actually leave the wax on to soak in as much as it possibly could. Leave the excess wax on, that is, or buff it off like a day later or something, but yeah, because they're, let me show you the boots I'm doing, they're pretty supple. These are my newer work boots, put the old ones in the ute, and so I've got a spare pair of boots on hand if I'm ever caught without them, just going around town or whatnot. So yeah, well, it takes literally 3 cloths to do properly. So I've got this first one here that's a cleaning cloth. I apply the leather soap to it, so this is Oakwood leather soap, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, Oakwood Leather Care Deep Clean Soap. So this removes the dust and grime off it. I spray it onto the cloth. This removes the dust and grime off it and gives it a bit of moisture. A bit of, well, you don't want water, you want the oils and whatnot that leather needs. So this has got some of those oils in it. The wax has more of it. But using this soap, I understand what it does is it allows some, it adds a bit more moisture to it as you're cleaning it. The wax adds more again and locks it in. So that's why I use the soap as well. Well, that was all the soap. Good for it though. I'd never been in the military, so a soldier might do it differently, I don't know. But it's just the way I was taught to polish my boots. Bit more soap, I think. I use ample product on these sorts of things just to keep it as clean as possible. Also, the reason why you want to polish your boots, I mean, a lot of formal organisations request polished boots. Like, I've been requested to wear a pair tonight for an SES thing, but they'll request polished boots partly because they just look professional. So for a formal event you'd want polished boots to look professional, but you can use regular boot polish to make them look shiny and get that result. But the reason why I use wax is because it adds the minerals, adds the stuff the boot needs to stay supple, and it extends the life of your leather, which means that your boot lasts longer before falling apart. That was a particularly dirty boot. I've been shoveling compost in these boots, so yeah, they'll help good with a layer of wax. So this is one reason I prefer slip-on boots, because to do a pair of lace-up boots properly, you have to undo the laces, polish the bit of leather the laces go into, let it soak in, buff it, and then do the laces up again. Which, I mean, if you've got to do that, you've got to do that. And some industries, like construction, prefers lace-up boots. But yeah, I also understand for general maintenance, not formal presentation, just leaving the laces on and going a bit around it is good enough usually for maintenance. The formal presentation, they'd want you to take the laces out and do it all, but for what I'm doing, just keeping them maintained. Yeah, just a quick polish. The main thing is getting the dust off, getting some moisture on it and then getting the wax on it. So I'll see if my old one has any more wax left in it. I'll show you what product I'm using. I'm just using, it's called leather conditioner, but it's basically wax and some other things. I'm not paid to advertise this product, just showing you the sort of stuff I use. I use this one, it's made in Australia. Available at Bunnings. I did try to go to the local leather shop, but they're closed at the moment. So this is a pretty waxy cloth. The wax doesn't really wash out of the cloth very well, so every so often you've got to replace the whole cloth, and that is lots of wax. Oh yeah, that'll supple that boot up nicely. You can also see there, possibly, with such a thick layer of wax, it's visible. That's why you buff it off to get nice and shiny, looking good. But as I say, often when I'm waxing my boots, I'll leave the excess wax on for however long. Sometimes I'll just leave it on until it just comes off naturally. To let the wax soak in. That means the more wax it soaks in, the longer the leather lasts, basically. It's got all the minerals and whatnot the leather needs to stay supple. And as I say, I use all the products, so whoop. This is basically also from what I understand, this is a similar process to what you do with all leather products to keep them last, length and last. So belts, saddles, stuff like that. I think there's more to saddlery as well, but yeah, basically clean it off, give it a polish, give it a wax. Now, just going to let this sit for a moment, let that wax soak in a bit, while I wax the other boot. So you see, it's got a very thick layer of wax on it now. It sort of soaks in a bit like that one. This is where you get your third cloth and you buff the excess off. This is the famous part where you see the soldier in the movie going like that. I just rub the circles. Or just rub it off. So we're going to get into the grooves there, because there's bits of wax there. So you get your fingernails in there, wipe it off. There you go. Nicely polished boot. Not much light on to see them shine, but yeah, if I buffed it off the real circly or rubby way, it might come up shinier, or if I left the buff on, the wax on for longer, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to give this one a bit more wax over the toe and the front here. I'm going to let that soak in for a few hours, because that's looking a bit rough. So a lot of potash and waste coffee grind and compost all over it. And that sort of stuff will legit drains out the minerals and the moisture. I think it's the lanolin or stuff in the leather. So I'm just going to apply a nice heap of wax there, and I'm just going to let that soak in, obviously to polish them, get them looking nice. You buff it off, but I'm going to let that soak in for a couple of hours. Cool. So thanks for watching. I now need to wash my hands, get that covered in wax. Thanks for watching. See you on the website next time. Bye.